Hello, good morning. It's Monday morning, boys and girls, Monday the 30th. We did a lot of grid method work last week. We're now going to have a little look at moving on to division. Now, for lots of us who've been in school the last few weeks before we went on lockdown, we were looking at division and we were doing lots of maths with that division. We are recapping it today, so I'm expecting lots of you to be able to remember this quite quickly. But the big thing we're going to focus on today is looking at the right language when we're explaining it. So you can explain it, boys and girls, to your parents, to your brothers and sisters, to lots of people at home. So we've got a question here, which is 12 grouped equally into threes. Gives me something, groups of three. Now, I'm going to go through it right from the beginning. So I know that I've got 12, and I've got 12 counters here, which I just had at home. If you've got 12 of something, 12 Lego blocks, 12 something that's the same, we'll just refocus that there. 12 something at home that you can get. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now I know these are going to be put in groups of 3. So 12 grouped into 3. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3. There's my first group of 3. Now I'm doing this on a whiteboard so I can draw around it and show you guys clearly. If at home you want to do it on the carpet, on the table, you can explain it as you go. You don't have to draw around it. Okay, so I've got my next group of 3. So 12 grouped equally into groups of 3. 1, 2, 3. And a good way of remembering this is just explaining it to other people whilst you're doing it, saying I've got 12 and I'm putting them in equal groups of 3. Now anytime we've got a number and we put it into equal groups like we've got here, we are doing division. Okay, and here we are doing 12, and dividing means putting it into equal groups of 3. So we're putting something into equal groups of 3, and it tells us the answer is how many groups we've got. Okay, now here I've got, we can see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I've got 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups. So that gives me 4 groups of 3. Each group has 3, and I've got 4 groups of 3. So 12 divided by 3 gives me 4. Now, from this here, I can start to look at, how am I going to write this in a way where I can show my understanding and my learning? So along the bottom here, I'm just going to show you a different way of laying it out. Now you'll recognise this, boys and girls, is a number line. Okay, and we're going to just today do the number line version of this, just so you can show your workings. So we start from 0. We do our first group of 3, which is there, and that takes me to 3. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3. My next group of 3 means I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My next group of 3, I'm then going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And my final group of 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Takes me to 12. And then I look, how many groups did I do? The jumps show us how many groups of 3 we did. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've done 4 jumps of 3, 4 groups of 3, and my answer is 4. Now today, what you're going to get in your Do It are different types of questions. You might have questions which are written out like this, in words. And what I'd like you to do when you get a question like this is fill in the box, as well as write the number sentence, as well as show me the number line. So for every question today, you want to be able to tell me what's the number sentence that you're going to do, as well as what the number line bit of work is. Now, you can do this on a piece of paper, a plain piece of paper, a book, whatever you've got at home to do it on, you can do it on that. And what I want you to be doing is, whilst you're talking to the adults around you when you're doing it, just say in this sentence to you, I've got 12 grouped equally into threes, gives me 4 groups of 3. I've got 4 groups of that 3. Now, real simple, when you're writing this down, you're not going to be able to put the counters and stick them in the place. So what we can do is we can replace these counters, without rubbing too much off, with a pictorial version of the counter. In fact, let me slide all my counters off. And then here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you can do a pictorial version of the counters, grouping it into 3, if that's a bit easier for people. So you should get something that looks a bit like that for your question. You'd have the number sentence, you'd have the number line of how many you've grouped it, as well as it. Now, something we haven't done here, because 3s are quite a nice easy one to do, is we haven't written something down the side to help us. Now, the thing we can write down the side to help us, if I just get another board quick, the thing we can write down the side to help us is our 3 times table. So we can say 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. And we stop at 30, because 30, we know, is the 10 times. Okay, it's good to stop at 30 when we get to 10 times. We've got that table added down the side to help us with our counting here. Now, this for our 3s we don't need, but when we get onto some larger numbers, and some larger numbers that we're grouping into, we will need something to help us with that. Okay, right, on the next slide you'll have your do it. I want you to pause on it. There's only 5 questions for you to have a go at. There's some ones that are in number form, there's some ones that are in sentence form. All I want you to do, boys and girls, I want you to say the sentence, but you don't have to write it out. Say the sentence, and this sentence will be on there for you to say, and I want you to definitely write the number sentence and show me pictorially what's going on with the number line. And if you wanted to, if you've got things at home that you can use, you can get the counters out to explain it to other people, maybe a younger brother or sister as well. Okay, pause on the next slide to have a go at the do it question. Here are the answers to the questions, boys and girls. As always, if you've made any glaring errors, have a look at them again, maybe go back and watch the video. Pause it now to get the answers. Okay, we're looking at the apply it question now, boys and girls. And we've got 21 divided by 3 gives us 8. So that's 21 equally grouped into 3s gives us 8 groups of 3. Okay, you can see I've got a number line image here. I've got them grouped into 3s, definitely got them grouped into 3s, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 8 groups. So I've got them grouped into 3, 1, 2, 3, all of them grouped into 3. And I've got 8 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, I want you just to take a minute or two just to have a look at what mistake have I made on here, and then we'll go through it in a second. Okay, boys and girls, here's the apply it question. Now, hopefully you've had a quick look at it. Everything is grouped in 3s, so they have grouped in 3s all the way along, and there are 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So looking at it straight away, that looks like the 3 looks right. They are grouped in 3s, and they have got 8 groups of 3. Now if we look at this end here, it's the 24 where we get our issue. Okay, they're only counting in threes, and we've only got 21 to group, so we've got to do 21 equally grouped into threes. So we do 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, and then 24. So what's happened here is they've grouped 24 by 3 into groups of 3 rather than 21. So if we got rid of that end section there, okay, we would have the right answer now, and we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 groups of 3, which is what we've got now, rather than 8 groups of 3. Okay, the next bit we're going to have a look at is the solve it questions. So I'll just get that ready and I'll be back with you in a second. Okay, boys and girls, so this is an example of the type of question you're going to have in the solve it. We've got a few division number sentences here with some empty boxes in. And below, you've got a choice of numbers which can go in these boxes. Now, it's entirely up to you how you go about doing this, but you've got to figure out where these numbers go in these boxes. So the best way to start with this is work out what you can work out and then go from there. Now, 21 divided by 3, 21 equally grouped into threes. We know we've already done that question, and I've chose that on purpose because I'm getting good at my 3 times table now. Okay, I know from earlier that that one is 7, so I can get rid of 7, and I know that that goes in there. Okay, here I've got 15 and 3 left. I've got something divided by 5 gives me something. Okay, so I've got something split up into equal groups of 5 gives me something. Okay, so I can't split 3 up into groups of 5, so it can't be 3. It's got to be my 15 that goes there. Okay, so I've got my 15. 15 divided by 5, 15 split up into equal groups of 5 gives me 3. So there's my answer. Now, you've got about 3 or 4 of these on the next slide to have a look at for the solve it. Take your time, work out where the numbers go, and then go from there. Now, one thing that will really help with our division as we go forward, we'll be looking at using our times tables. So make sure you log on to Times Table Rockstars as well and have a good play on that. Get quicker at those times tables. Practice writing down your times table ladders, getting nice and quick at that, so you get quick at these things that help us with the harder questions. The quicker we can do these basic things that help us with the harder questions, the better we will be at these harder questions. Okay? Right, hope you're all well, and I will talk to you tomorrow, boys and girls.